startup presentation. So we've got a great series of 6 demos from startups, both well-established and some new, and sometimes it's the first thing that they've ever seen. We have their Twitter handles, we know their names. I encourage you, really engage with these startups. These startups are local, they're your neighbors, they need your support. They're here to talk to you. So, as during the presentation, feel free to send them a tweet or sometimes afterwards. When you go home after the event, think of who do you know that could actually benefit from their service, because that's what we're really here about. So up first is Alon Cohen from Fightmetric. Is Alon Cohen here? Might have got stuck on Metric. All right, I guess Alon is going to be here. We'll see if he shows up later on tonight. So next up is Sports Buzz, Matt Stone. They're at Sports Buzz on Twitter.
Also with my colleague Tanner Hooley, part of the founding team of Sports Buzz. While he gets everything set up, I'll sort of tell you about the genesis. One of our founding principals is Chris Cooley, who's the starting tight end of the Washington Redskins. It really was created out of his frustration with figuring out how to increase his digital presence and also monetize his being a professional football player off the field. So Chris spent a lot of his own time and effort creating his own website, coming up with his own Chris Cooley branded merchandise, trying to sell his memorabilia, and realized that while he was successful, most of his fellow pro football players were not going to put in that kind of time and effort. But if we presented to these guys a platform where we essentially do it for them, they'd be very interested in signing on. So that's why we created Sports Buzz. So we'll take you through a demo of what the fan experience is and then also what the athlete experience is, because we think while this is great and encourages a whole new level of interactivity between the fans and the athletes, it's also a very essential utility for the athletes in how they manage their social media presence. So you would come to this homepage. If you're going to join as a new member, it would be a Join Now tab, because the technology is a little limiting. We're not going to go through all that. But it's your standard sign-up page. Once you sign up, you would come to an athlete selection page. And so what we've been able to do, and it's somewhat of a nuance that people may not quite appreciate or understand, but we have an agreement that we've signed with the NFL Players Association. And the NFL Players Association is really the authoritative body in working with football players in terms of grouping them as a team and also leveraging them to make money for you, which of course they get a piece of. So the fact that we have that agreement allows us to group these guys as a team, and so you can go in, since we are a Washington crowd, we'll pick all the Washington Redskins which we selected. You would then save that, and you'd be taken to what we call My Feed, which, similar to a Facebook feed page, is a feed of all the posts from the Washington Redskins. And a little tricky to see what the first one is, but this is a picture of Chris Cooley's latest family member, which is his pet dog. So what we do here is we allow the athletes to really showcase what they do off the field, as opposed to what people see and can read about in 1,000 other outlets of what's happening on the field. So what the athletes can do, it's very easy, is we have iPhone, we'll have an Android, we have an Android application for athletes, we'll have one for fans, hopefully this week. We actually have a BlackBerry application for athletes. They can use their smartphone to easily take pictures, shoot video, do audio, or just post a text. That then automatically gets posted to their BuzzFeed. And then what we've done is we've also integrated into their Twitter and Facebook accounts. So those posts will automatically go out to their Twitter audience and also to their Facebook audience. So it's really making it very simple for the athletes to just go one place and communicate with everybody. What we eventually and hopefully want to do during this year is also be able to pull back comments from Facebook and Twitter, so that, again, it will really be an essential utility. The athletes can both post and be commenting with people all in one place. So what the fan can do, you see at the top, there's obviously the feed. They can send the athlete a fan mail. So the athlete on his page would see that a fan mail is in, and of course he can either respond or not. We get a pretty good response rate of fans athletes responding to fan mails. We also have push notifications, so a fan would know if an athlete's posted a buzz, so that it takes them right to the buzz. If an athlete has responded to a fan mail, if an athlete has posted a comment to their comment. And whenever they click on that push notification, it's taking them right to either the response, the fan mail response, or to the buzz. From an athlete perspective, and we'll use Reed Dowdy, who's the safety for the Redskins, as a great example. They would come in, and again, we have them in one place. They can see if anyone sent them fan mail. They can see athletes that they follow. And what we've also done is we have a private portal so athletes can communicate with each other in private. And we found that that's very popular because a lot of these athletes may not know each other, but they're all interested in learning about what other athletes are doing and what they're interested in. We go back up, so it's really cool. Right here, we archive all their videos, all their audio, all their photos in one place. And the other thing we're doing, which is helpful for the athletes, is we're saying, use SportsBuzz as your originating platform. Don't be using YFrog, TwitPic, and these other platforms where you're giving them ownership of your content. Here, you control your content. And any dollar that we make of money, we give you a share because of our deal with the NFL Players Association. So it's a much better way to organize and control their content and make sure it's being used properly in the way they want it. So what we can do to sort of show you how it works with Twitter and Facebook is, Tanner, can we post something on behalf of Reed?
Yeah, just for time constraints, this is something we just posted while we were here 2 hours ago getting ready for this. It's the rodeo, so Reed had a great time with his family at the rodeo. So same thing on his Facebook, it shows that post with a link back to his SportsBuzz page. Same thing on Twitter.
And then if you're a person who's just following Reed, maybe on Twitter and Facebook, and not a member of SportsBuzz, you would click on that link. It would take you to a landing page. If you're not a member, you can very easily, it's a free sign up. You can sign up just using an email and password. And it would take you to a landing page. And there we go. It's all working. So you just quickly put in an email and a password. If for some reason all you want to do is see that content, clearly people will just type something in in order to see the content. But we find eventually when they notice they keep going back and back to SportsBuzz to see the post, they become active members. And so what we're looking to do now is we're really sort of moving into the monetization phase for these guys. There's lots of advertising opportunities, whether it be sponsored buzzes, and it could be a sponsored buzz with just a link. It could be video sponsored buzzes where essentially the buzz is an advertisement. There can be buzz headlines and taglines surrounding the buzz. We can do a background around the buzz, which is something sponsored. Again, we're launching merchandise stores for these guys, memorabilia stores. We're looking to do maybe some premium content, which will be paid. It involves a lot more live interaction with the players. We just think there's lots of ways to monetize this thing. To date, we now have over 80 NFL players. We have one NBA. We're going to be expanding throughout the NFL, and especially the NBA in 2011 and other sports. Some of our top athletes, we have Reggie Bush, who is the second most followed NFL player on social media, the seventh most followed player. And we're working on a deal with him that will hopefully get done by the end of this week. We're going to agree to originate all his social media from SportsBuzz. We also have Devin Hester from the Chicago Bears, Deshaun Jackson from the Eagles, Chris Cooley from the Redskins, Roddy White from the Falcons. So we're really expanding our athlete base, and as they're posting from SportsBuzz, we're starting to bring in a lot of friends. That's it.
Up next is Washington Post Labs with their new product Trove.
news stations, cable companies, a bunch of other stuff you probably see on the street like Express and whatnot. We're lumpled up to a tiny little division of the Washington Post company. So we're kind of like we like to think of ourselves as like a little bit of a startup within that. It was kind of, we started in 2009 as an experiment in what it would be like to have a startup culture within an establishment. So we started, we're all kind of an agile development environment, a bunch of platforms, all in the cloud. But we got to start on day one with this huge amount of traffic coming from the Post properties. So some of the stuff we do, the Room, which is a Post property, we did the sign-in stuff, managed all the identity process behind that. On Slate and the other sites, we've done a cross-site widget to drive traffic back between them. And on the Post, we did a recommendation widget and kind of facilitated the commenting platform that they're using now. So we get to build these little kind of fun products within all those different sites, which is great to experiment with new technology and be on those kind of established products. And then our biggest thing we're working on now is this new site, Trove, which we're really presenting on today. It's a news aggregator and kind of a new breed of news aggregators. And we managed to be able to put it on a bunch of mobile platforms. So it's on Android, iPhone, iPad, Windows tablet, Windows Phone, and BlackBerry, for those of you stuck in that world. So we'll do a quick demo of Trove right here. We prepared for the live and the not so live, just in case things don't work out. We're already broken. Okay. Go back. Okay. Okay, so Trove, the site is divided into kind of two main categories, the editor's picks on the left and the channel well on the right. And since we're part of the Washington Post company and since we kind of value that editor's influence, we didn't just want to dive right into that straight kind of news aggregator experience where we're pumping content at you, but with ignoring kind of that editorial influence. So we wanted to bring that in, and we have a staff of editors who manage that left-hand column, editor's picks. I think it's really great because when something's going on in the world, you're going to find it on Trove right away because we're reacting to it. It's not like if you're using another aggregator out there and you sort of lose the perspective of what's big in the world. But at the same time, we don't try to take up too much room. So on the right-hand side of the channel well are my channels. I have 105 channels, which is probably out of the norm. But these are interests that I've either put into the system or it's recommended to me that I've picked. And so it's showing me the top stories within those interest areas. And this is where this is kind of the key aspect of Trove is that we're trying to aggregate based on your interests rather than either keywords like you would in Google News or large topic areas like science or something like that, like you might do on a Yahoo My homepage. And so at the very top, I'm kind of going this big block here, that's our channel finder. That's kind of a little game to be able to identify and find new channels that editors have populated there that I think are interesting. And they're trying to be cheeky with the different kind of combinations there. So this is kind of an example of some of the deeper aspects of Trove. We took a channel here, it's fireworks, and so if you scroll down, you're going to see all of the top fireworks news going on right now. But unlike Google News or some of these other products, you can put in something like Washington, D.C., so we've added Washington, D.C. as a requirement here. It's not just looking for that text Washington, D.C., it's using that as an entity. And it's looking for all news that contains fireworks that's about Washington, D.C. And so you can see that the content is shifted to be focused on Washington, D.C. And so we were kind of playing around with it earlier today and drag out Washington, D.C., go back to the regular fireworks. And we were like, I wonder what it looks like in Baltimore. And so we went to Baltimore, and we're dragging it into the require, and it's in refresh. All right, and number one, fatal stabbing at a fireworks ceremony. Man killed, toddler shot. What's going on? The system did this. We didn't pick these stories, but you can see it's sort of adjusted what you're receiving based on what you're putting out there. So that's kind of one of the key aspects of this. Is you can create these channels and identify some of the things you're interested in. I think one of the other ones we really like, the geo thing is really cool, but I do want coffee in DC, and I do DC DC and beer to get all kind of like what's going on in the DC beer scene. Sorry. Here. Another one we really like is the Bill Gates example. This is probably less of a phenomenon now, but you can go in there and you can put in Bill Gates, you get all the news about Bill Gates, of course. But you can tune it to add philanthropy. So if you're not interested in Bill Gates as he has to do with Microsoft or technology, but interested in what he's doing with philanthropy, you can put in that word philanthropy. And since that's being treated as a topic behind the scenes, you have this kind of, it's not just looking for the word philanthropy, it's looking for anything that is about that topic using our classifier on the back end. Did you manage to get it up? Oh, there it is.
Supposed to wrap it up. I just want to mention the last thing we're working on. Originally, this presentation was about big data, so we've been doing a lot of work in the back end to sort of capture events and figure out what people are interested in based on their clickstream through the site. And one thing we're doing right now, we're using Facebook to log in. We will be open others soon, but we're also working on sort of collecting like what channels are your friends interested in, what are other people on the site interested in, and how can we get you to find more things that you might be interested in based on your friends on Facebook. So that's one of the things.
All right, and just like any one of these presentations, there's the obligatory final slide, which needs to get back.
Yes.
But we're hiring. There's a lot going on, and I think it's just a really exciting place to be able to walk in and work with these tools, like working in the cloud and then working with such big numbers right away. So check us out, all of our Twitters and whatnot there. Thanks.
Great, thanks so much. Up next is Richard Rawal with Watch Party on TV. And thanks so much, Matt and Greg. They are also available online at Trove and Trove.com, and we'll be posting links to everything afterwards.
Okay, my name is Richard Rawal. This is my colleague, Allison Perry. Our company is called Watch Party. Watch Party is an interactive platform for television audiences to engage one another while they're watching TV. It's in the social television space, but we answer a different question and solve a different problem than most of the social television platforms out there. We do not solve the question, what are my friends watching, or what is everybody else watching? We solve the question, we answer the question and solve the problem. Who else is watching what I'm watching, and how can I interact with them? So, this is the home page. The idea behind Watch Party was really to help bring people together around the television that they're watching and allow them to find other people, talk to each other, engage each other, and use a variety of different features to communicate with one another and to really have an active experience during the party. Great. Okay. So, we feature shows every single night, but every show on 40 different networks has a watch party. Okay. So, what we're doing tonight, most of our featured shows are, of course, around primetime television. So this is, we're just getting rolling with one right now. I think we're going to show you a watch party for Cupcake Wars.
I'm not on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, Tuesday nights are not necessarily the best nights for television. You are also, I'll tell you while she logs into the watch party, you are privileged to see the very last public presentation of this particular interface, the watch party. We do have a check-in service we just told you to see that for right now. We have other shared things to be using at this, of course. So, it's a chat room with a lot of flips. Flips are tags that people create. Users create flips during the course of a watch party to tag a certain moment in time, to tag a particular piece of content, a catchphrase. Catchphrases are very common. People have started creating drinking games for television shows with Watch Party. We're really excited about that, although we're concerned about ages. Users can also create polls and ask poll questions to other participants in the watch party. Allison's going to kind of point out some of the other feature sets while I'm talking. As I said a moment ago, you were privileged to see the last public demonstration of this particular interface. Watch Party's been live for 6 months, and we've learned a great deal in that 6 months about how people talk about television. Those are the results of some of the polls that people have asked during the course of this episode of Cupcake Wars. What we've learned most about the way people talk about television is that people's conversations while they're watching TV are not linear, and they are not one-dimensional. And yet our interface is linear and one-dimensional, just like every other communication interface that we've ever come across. Facebook, Twitter, all of these things are sort of comment after comment after comment. What we've learned in 6 months of watching our users, we've got about 1,500 active users right now. What we've seen in their conversations is that basically they're talking to that person, and then they're talking to the whole group, and then they're talking to the television. They've got 3 or 4 different conversations going on, moment by moment within a show. Those conversations last about 4 interchanges. I say something, you say something back to me, I say something back to you, you say something back to me. By that point, we're done with that, we're on whatever's happening next on the screen, right? So, what we're developing right now is a brand new interface for social interaction, particularly around viewing, that's going to allow our users to interact with every other participant in the watch party individually, separately, and privately, or publicly. Also to interact with every single person within the watch party. And because our watch parties, for the sake of activity, are limited to about 12 to 15 people in each one, users are actually going to be able to interact their entire watch party with another watch party. And we're going to be interjecting into that the ability for them to play games against one another. So a team of people in one watch party, while they're watching Cupcake Wars, for example, are going to be able to pose trivia questions to people in other watch parties and compete against those people. They're going to be able to create drinking games that everyone in any watch party can participate in. And then, as a result, they'll win sort of prizes. They'll be competing and interacting both internally within a watch party and across all the watch parties for a particular show. So the next time that I get to come up here and talk to a group like this, I'm hoping I'll be able to start showing you what that new interface looks like. Most importantly, what we're looking for right now, as long as I've got the stage for a moment, is we're looking for really great web designers and really great, brilliant Ruby on Rails developers who will come on board with us to help create an interface that's unlike anything that currently exists. I wanted to show it to you, but the lawyers wouldn't let me because we're patenting it. So we can try to keep it as short as possible. Is there anything we missed? Because it was behind me. So you see that it basically functions like a chat. We've got information about the shows. We've got a slider where people can rate what they think about the show at any given moment. And she shows you clips and she shows you the polls. So that's what it is. It's watchparty.tv. Come check it out. And if you'd like to find out how you can get involved in helping create this new platform and this new interface, please see myself or Allison. Thank you very much.
let's use this mic. All right. Pull up high.
All right, so what is MyChef? MyChef is basically Pandora for cooking. We learn our users' tastes, their preferences, their skill level, and then we recommend recipes, products, and social interactions that will help them become better and more frequent at-home cooks. And our goal is really to empower and enable young, busy professionals like you guys, like myself, to lean away from takeout, dining out, fast food, frozen food, and lean more heavily on at-home, healthier, home-cooked meals. And to do that, we believe three things are really necessary to change that behavior. And those are inspiration, motivation, and organization. So, give you a quick demo of what this looks like. This is the MyChef website today. It's mychefonline.com. Feel free to visit, check it out. When you come to the site, you will first start by engaging in our taste quiz, and we'll gather information about what you like, what you dislike, what you're allergic to. I'm going to say I'm allergic to tree nuts. We'll see how quickly the internet goes here. Basically, this will ultimately load, and your suggestions will change over here on the right. And as you continue to fill this out, your suggestions will get more and more accurate. And I can scroll through and say, okay, roasted beets, Caribbean mushroom, pad thai. Let me check out that pad thai recipe. Great. This is the recipe. So that's kind of where the personalization element really comes in through the personalized suggestions, that's the inspiration, as well as the curated content. We've got content partnerships with Williams Sonoma, Food 52, and a bunch of food bloggers as well. So to talk about inspiration, that's inspiration. Motivation really comes through social encouragement. So what you can do today is you can Facebook message or tweet and tell your friends what you're cooking online and get some positive social buzz around that. So your friend might say, oh wow, that looks really good, I'm gonna come over for dinner next week, and you'll be more encouraged to keep cooking. Some of the things we're looking towards building as far as more social encouragement are around earning social badges. If you check into your kitchen a certain number of times per week, or if you master a new technique like zesting, then you can earn a badge and again kind of be socially encouraged. So that's a little bit about that. You can add these recipes to your library, and if you go back up here, you'll get to your library and you can kind of scroll through and see what you want to cook that night. And there's the pad thai that we added. You can of course search for recipes just like any other site. If you've got eggplant you want to use up or salmon you want to cook, you can search that way as well. So this is the site today. We've talked about inspiration, we've talked about motivation. The third thing is organization. So I wanted to give you a little bit of a sneak peek into where we're headed. Here we go. So this is kind of, we're working right now on a site redesign, similar to Watch Party. This is a little bit of a sneak peek. Don't hold us to this particular design, but this is, gives you a little bit of a more updated view. So in addition to being able to add the recipe to your library, like I showed you before, you see this icon here that is representative of a list, a grocery list. If you click on this, you click on another one, the idea is that you will get an aggregated shopping list that looks something like this. So with the click of a button, you can kind of seamlessly get all your grocery list compiled for you. And you can edit the list, you can email it, you can print it, you can do things like that. Just swap over to a PowerPoint deck real quick. And where we're ultimately going with this is that you can actually get all your groceries delivered through one of our grocery delivery partners. So I've got my aggregated grocery list, I can enter my zip code, and then I can choose between MyChef's local grocery delivery partners and not even have to think about my groceries at all after that. So we're really trying to make the cooking process not just more fun, more inspirational, more motivated, but also easier and quicker. And then, ultimately we'll be recommending products and things like that as well. So stay tuned for our site redesign that should be coming out later this summer. And if anyone does not like grocery shopping, we're definitely for you. So come check us out. Thank you.
Up next is our last demo of the night, which is Steve Parker from League Apps. Afterwards, we have a short presentation, and then we will announce where we're headed to the bar. So finally, Steve Parker.
Testing.
How you guys doing? My name's Steve Parker from SportsBite. We have a product called League Apps, which I'm going to show you today. Basically, League Apps addresses a problem in the world of recreational sports. Adult recreational sports clubs that organize soccer leagues, softball leagues that you guys can join playing. They don't have a really great way currently of managing their online operations, such as their web presence, their online registration, payment collection, scheduling standings, all that kind of stuff to run a sport league. So I'm going to first show you some examples of current, some real live sites of some adult leagues out there. So this is one. This is kind of like typically what we find is the majority of them have a kind of a homegrown solution. They're using, they kind of piece together a website, they use WordPress, they use PayPal, they have a manual form for collecting registrations, and they use Excel or Google Docs to sort of kind of manually pull it all together. So this is one, this is kind of what it looks like. This is another one, just give you a sense of, it's not the greatest aesthetics. Another one here, and there's tens of thousands of these organizations across the country, and so what we do is we make this easy for them. We provide a platform that gives them a nice solution to, on the right window here. I'm going to show you some, flip over. I'm going to show you a few examples of sites running on our platform. So this is a club in Miami, it's a Miami Sports Social Club. Completely customize the look and feel of the site. We have a theme editor, I'll show you in a second, where you can totally control the look and feel. All of your leagues and activities are on there, so the members can come and register. You can drill down. Here's another example site, just to give you a kind of a broad sense of how they can customize their sites. This is an Arizona league. There's another page on that site. There's a Arlington-based league, Arlington Athletic and Social League. This is an example of how schedule looks on this site. So basically, here's the standings on this site. So the idea is these guys can very easily get set up and control the look and feel of their site and have a full access to a platform that gives them all of these tools to manage their operations. Now I'm going to flip over and show you kind of that's sort of the public-facing view of what they get. I'm going to show you the back-end admin view. So this is what we call a manager console. And this is an example organization. I'm log into the admin console. And as you can see, you know, there's this is kind of the dashboard view. It shows sort of a high-level snapshot of everything going on, your registration activity, your payment collection activity. And then if you look across the top here, there's a number of different features to control all the various operations of your organization. I'm going to kind of use the internet-less way of doing this, but I have a bunch of tabs set up here. So you can drill down and look at all your programs. You have leagues, events, and tournaments you can manage. You can control the content of your websites, add pages, control the menu items, and so forth. You can so basically, I was going to kind of drill down. So, in a nutshell, basically, I can't really click around these, but you can pretty much control all the operations of your sports organization. Your collect online registrations, payments all in one place. Do kind of a trimmed down MailChimp feature here where you can message your member base, control all the content of your websites, full customization of your look and feel of your public-facing website. Everything is totally customizable through a number of settings, and there's a whole host of reports I could show you here for understanding what's going on in your organization. But overall, you know, so to kind of wrap up here, you know, we power rec sports, the rec sports communities and recreational sports organizations. We have our platform kind of powers all of their online operations, and you know, that's pretty much it.
That concludes our demos for the night. So we just have one more part of the program, and that is having Dean Chang up on stage. So Dean Chang is the director of the MTech Venture Program and director of the Technology Advancement Program at the University of Maryland College Park, my alma mater actually. Dean Chang oversees all of MTech's award-winning and nationally acclaimed venture creation programs at the University of Maryland. Prior to that, he held dual roles of CTO and VP of Gaming Business at Immersion Corporation. And let's just wait for this. So he has a BS in Mechanical Engineering from MIT, an MS and PhD in Mechanical Engineering from Stanford, and an MBA with honors from the Wharton School of Business. So probably about the most overaccomplished person in this room. So with that, Dean Chang.
So I want to say one quick thing before, because I'm here to talk about resources at the University of Maryland that should come in handy to everybody here. But I want to flip it around to start. I'm in a church, so I'm going to make an appeal, which is I hope you connect with universities, not just Maryland, but all the universities in the region, and try to give students a meaningful opportunity to participate in your startup. When I was at Stanford, I felt like one of the best things about the Stanford environment was that there were a plethora of opportunities for students to get an opportunity to work and do something really significant as part of a startup and feel like a part of the team. My roommate at Stanford was Jerry Yang, the founder of Yahoo, and for 2 summers he worked at MIPS, a startup at the time that ushered in MIPS microprocessors. And I myself joined a startup that my lab mate founded. We did haptics, and we helped grow the company, take it public, and had products with our technology from BMW, Electronic Arts, and Samsung. It's just a phenomenal experience. So while we've got a lot of great things at the universities that can help your startups, I think think your startups would also benefit by giving opportunities to students, which will help educate and inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs. And I think universities in the next 10 years, their role is going to change and evolve significantly, so that becomes a major part of it, a university's mission to inspire and educate the next generation of entrepreneurs. So that will also help the DC Baltimore ecosystem, creating more entrepreneurs, keeping them here, and so on. So that's my appeal. Now let's talk about how to help you guys. I'm going to go really quickly. So I do have a bunch of brochures over there on the sides. You can come see me on stuff I skip over that you want to hear more about. This is a longer presentation, so I'm just going to hit the highlights. Some University of Maryland alumni, famous entrepreneurs, Sergey Brin, Google, Brian Hibbon, co-founder of Polycom, Kevin Plank with Under Armour, Robert Briskman, co-founder of Sirius Satellite. Every university's got their famous alumni entrepreneurs. Actually, the reason I bring these guys up is that none of these guys started their companies when they were still in school. All right? And while that's great that they started it afterwards and it brings some stuff back to the university in forms of gifts and so on, we want these companies to be started while they're still students or while they're still researchers or faculty members. And that's really the purpose of MTech. It was created to help better enable faculty members and students to start their companies while they're still in school. MTech is associated with the School of Engineering, but we also partner with Business School, the Dickens Center of Entrepreneurship. Is Alana here? Where's Alana? There she is. She's back there. She's my counterpart in the Business School. We work together on a lot of great things. MTech, we try to educate the next generation of entrepreneurs. We try to create new technology companies. We've had a significant impact on the state of Maryland's economy, including $2 billion exits. Martech and Digene, both biotech companies that started in our incubator on campus, and were both sold for over $1 billion in the last 3 years. Lots of educational courses and so on. But again, so at the university we have this whole ecosystem created to help take ideas from students and faculty members and researchers and bring them in, give them some formal mentoring, start companies, get them funded, and incubate them. Now, why should this matter to you? Because many of these programs are actually open to anyone in the region, not just students or faculty members, and they're great resources that you should take advantage of. I've highlighted the ones in red that are open to anyone from the region. And I'm going to hit those really, really quickly. I've also added two at the bottom that you can see that are that you can ask Alana about in terms of an intake and a funding program. All right. So first, Entrepreneur Office Hours. Every month, second Tuesday of every month, we have a pool of advisors who are there to answer your questions about any question you might have related to starting your business. And these advisors are a team of seasoned veterans of startups, Silicon Valley startups, IPOs, and so on. In fact, I see Steve Kaplan over there. He's a guest advisor occasionally on not just legal matters, but just in general on startup matters. We partner with Founder Corps, which I think helped the Startup Accelerator event recently. So I'm a Founder Corps member myself, as well as some of my colleagues. So you got Founder Corps members who are experienced entrepreneurs there to mentor, to offer advice and point you to resources that can help you. EOH.umd.edu is the URL, EOH for Entrepreneur Office Hours. You can sign up, you can walk in, and it's a great resource. Boot camp, so boot camp, I'll just note that we do boot camp every fall. This year is going to be October 14th, 2011. We have about 500 attendees. It's the largest event of its kind in the university. We do great panels, kind of like what you're seeing here today, but it's a great way to connect with students. You might find some great programmers for your class or whatever, and we've had keynote speakers who are co-founder. The last few years we had the co-founder of Nextel, Morgan O'Brien, founder of ComScore, Majid Abraham, co-founder of Parature, Duke Chang, Michael Chasen from Blackboard, others as keynote speakers. So that's a good event that you might want to put on your calendar and come October 14th. I'll skip over a business plan competition, but we have a business plan competition. The only thing I'll say about it is, like the MIT business plan competition, the only requirement is that you have at least one member of your team who's a full-time student or faculty member at the university. But like many of the winners of the MIT business plan competition, the team is comprised, the majority of the team is comprised of people like yourselves from the region. And in the past 10 years, we've awarded over $500,000 and 2 companies that are on the Inc. 500 list that came out of the business plan competition, as well as some really noted entrepreneurs. So that's another great way to connect with the university, not to mention pick up $75,000 in prize money. One thing I want to mention, business school also, and again, you can ask Alana about this, they run something called the Cupid's Cup. It's award money from Kevin Plank, the founder of Under Armour. So it's $25,000 in award money for companies that are already generating revenue, but less than $1 million, I think it is. But even perhaps more valuable than that is that you get essentially a one-on-one mentoring session with Kevin Plank, and in fact, several continue to have relationships with Kevin Plank going forward as a business advisor, so that's a great opportunity. This is one that everybody should take note of. Maryland Intellectual Property Legal Resource Center basically offers free legal services and counseling related to intellectual property to any, they focus on Maryland companies, but they'll take people from DC and Virginia, basically in the region. The way it works, how's it possible? Nothing's free. So it's actually a partnership. And this is a great way, again, of getting students and startup companies involved. So the people who actually do the legal work are actually University of Maryland law students, third-year University of Maryland law students, and before I go, oh my gosh, I don't want a student doing my patent work. So the center is actually managed by Patty Campbell. Her picture is the second one down. She spent several years in Silicon Valley as an IP attorney. She also was general counsel of Kajit, a local telecom startup at one point. So she's a very experienced attorney. She's now a professor at the law school. She teaches this clinic class where the University of Maryland law students get 3 credits to take this class. What better way to learn to practice law than by working with real companies instead of sitting in a classroom? And she oversees the process. And what she'll tell you is that if you're simply looking for an NDA, an employment agreement, or operating agreement, or even a trademark application, those are simple enough that what the students give you, you can turn around and file it, and it's all for free. If you're doing something more complicated, like a applied art search or a patent application, then she'll say, what the students give you is a good starting point, but do not file this with USPTO. Go work with a practicing attorney, somebody like Steve or somebody else. If you don't know one, we'll recommend one. But if you take what we give you, the students give you, as a starting point, you'll probably save on average about half the cost of that patent compared to had you gone to that patent attorney from square one at $300, $400, $500, $600 an hour. Okay, great resource. Their office is in the incubator on campus. It's miplrc.org. Again, I have brochures if you want to get this from me afterwards. Fantastic resource. And then some funding programs I'm going to touch on real quick. This may not be applicable to everybody, but the upshot is there's a funding program through the state of Maryland where if you want to develop a proof of concept, some sort of technology proof of concept, the state will match your $10,000 with the state's $90,000. So they want you to see, they want to see that you have some skin in the game. You have to figure out, $10,000 from somewhere, but then they'll match you to $90,000. So it's like a 10x multiplier on your R&D budget, which is the rightmost pie graph there. But anyway, so then you take that $100,000 and you partner with a faculty member in any University of Maryland system campus. It doesn't have to be a college park. It can be up at UMB or wherever else. And they will perform, they will conduct this project for you, and then you as a company get exclusive rights to it. So, some of the products have been developed with that. So, broadband via satellite. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. DirecTV offered this. Basically, you get broadband through the little satellite dish. This was developed through this project, as were some drugs from Martech Biosciences and Metamune. But anyway, again, it's a 10x multiplier, and you can partner with a university that's got some great equipment, facilities that you may not be able to afford, or some expertise. And it doesn't have to be a hard science. It can also be in computer science if you're looking for some serious algorithm help. But they award roughly $2 million every year. They award it twice a year. Great program, helps a lot of startups in the region. Running out of time. I know again this is focused on sports and entertainment, but if you're doing something related to reducing pollution in the Chesapeake Bay, it can even be a bike sharing program. We run a $750,000 fund that makes investments in those kinds of ventures. We've got an incubator on campus. We invite you to, if you want to have a presence on campus, to have your students, give your students a place to actually do the work by walking from their classes instead of having to drive into DC or whatever. That's also very valuable. So that's about it. These resources are available to you. I hope to see a lot of you on campus. Let's work together and turn out some really great startups for the region. I got brochures over there on the side.
Perfect. All right, now to wrap up the night. We have about 5 minutes for anyone to come up. Up front. Justin will be holding a mic if you just want to kind of line up in the center of the room. About 15 seconds, just say like, hey, who are you? What are you trying to accomplish? Just give anyone kind of an open venue to just kind of say who you are and what you want to say.
Chang. I'm Dennis Van Dusen. Our company's grown by a factor of 2 years to 3 months. We need more people, more programmers especially, and it's getting very, very exciting very quickly.
had another startup event at Chatter. I actually own Chatter Room, entrepreneur myself, so I really want to support you guys. So if you guys are doing things like that, contact me. I'll donate my venue, and we would love to have you guys. Thank you again for all this.
Sounds like we'll do happy hour Chatter Room sometime.
I'm an administrator. I'm the founder of Honeycomb. That's at honeycombhire.com. Basically, we're trying to manage the process of network recruiting. Almost everyone here last time I was here was doing hiring and network recruiting. One of the best ways to do that, we make the process a little wider reaching, a little more transparent, making the process a little bit better. So just come find me. It's honeycombhire.com. Thanks.
Hi everybody, just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Richard Witowski. I founded a software company about 17 years ago in Rockville that I still operate. And I'm actually here today and getting involved with DC Tech, looking for early stage software companies that need some help with mentoring, that are looking for seed capital, looking for very early stage. So if you and your buddies are working on some ideas, maybe part-time or full-time, and you're early stage up, please look me up. It's R. Witowski, like lit up sky. R. Witowski, and you can just tweet too.
Hi, I'm sorry. Can you hear me? I'm James Kozecki. I recently debuted a music video on Tech Cocktail. I think you'll all enjoy it. Please watch it. It's called Social Media is for Losers. Theme of Media, we started Videology, a monthly web video workshop series, hands-on. So you can learn to produce videos for your own startup company. And because we're such big fans of DC Tech, we waited to open the registration until tonight. There's only 15 spots, it's in 2 weeks. Videologydc.com. Thanks.
Where are you hosting that?
Did you say videology or video?
Videology.
We'll be hosting that at a very nice company that has iStrategy Labs here in DC.
This is apparently the short line tonight.
Hey everyone. Check out DC Night Owls. It's a new meetup for everybody doing what you're already doing, but at night. So if you like to work at night, no, for professionals. So if you're doing your startups, if you're doing your development, your design, but you want to actually hang out with people while you're doing it, meet some people like everybody around the room, check out DC Night Owls on Twitter and on Meetup.com. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Jim Tomato. I am representing a company called TruthinessCheck.com. Our goal is to take the misinformation out of politics. We have a way to do that. We're very, very, very early stage. We haven't started talking to friends and family yet, but if you want to invest, I'm here. That's all. Come find me.
That's a big problem.
Did you write an algorithm to do that?
Yeah.
My name is Alan Zimmer. I'm the founder of 50millioncalories.org. It's called 50. It's a very unique and very simple wellness website trying to get people to take the stairs or the elevator to simultaneously improve health and a safe environment. I have some major companies that are interested in using it. I'm just looking for people to help me out. And my mission is to make the world a healthier place. So if that sounds like fun to you, please find me. Thank you.
My name is Joe Price. I'm the producer of a new play debuting at the Fringe Festival. It's unique in that it's the first show in DC to have its own mobile app and the first show in the world where audiences opt in over through Facebook. We get their audience's real Facebook data and incorporate that into the show. It's pretty neat. It's been getting awesome reviews. And I'll have a QR code flyer on my iPad outside if you guys want to scan and read up more information on our mobile site.
Hey Justin, your mic is a little soft, so if you can mind speaking up, so.
Okay. How's this? Everything's good for everybody? Alright, how you all doing? My name is Joshua Chesney. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer and founder at Music Mind, which is a website and service that focuses on creating music communities and eliminating music piracy. So basically, I'm a student, so I'm looking for any entrepreneur who wants to help out and give us some pointers on pitches. And actually just to get interested in our idea in general. We're really trying
consulting. We work with entrepreneurs, helping them with their business development and strategy. So if you have any headaches in that area, come speak to me. Help you out.
Very good. Hi everyone. I want to thank the producers, everybody involved with this event. I'm also working on an event for the DC Ad Club. It's happening on Thursday. I hope it's okay. Just wanted to invite everybody. The last event we did was it's called Meetup, the Future of Advertising, and we actually have Peter as one of the panel members. It's a similar event, except this focus is politics and government advertising. And we've got speakers from Microsoft, Public Air Markets, and from the U.S. Senator Chris Coons' office, as well as Ogilvy, sorry to read. But it's happening at the Artisphere. You can get tickets and get more information on dcadclub.com. Thanks.
How are we doing on time, or are you doing?
We got about time for probably just everyone who's standing in line right now. If you wouldn't mind picking up, like really keep it 15 seconds. Who you are.
Tweet update.
Hey everybody, my name's Charlie Peabody. I'm with an ed tech startup in Everfy. We're going to be at the happy hour after this, and we're hiring like crazy. So definitely come out, find one of us, and we'll tell you more about us.
Hi, I'm Chris Cummings. I run the largest Spanish dictionary and learning website called Spanish Day. We are hiring PhD engineers, front-end engineers, and designers. And I'll be at the Meetup conference.
Hi guys, I'm Kira Newman. I'm a blogger from DC Startups, so I'm on Twitter at Kira and Newman.
It's a blog that you run? A cocktail. All right.
My name is Josh Wolf, I'm the Director of Data Technology for the New Organizing Institute. We're our lead web developer for our 2012 candidates in 2012 for the local election officials for office for the folks who get the data for the new gadget.
Hey, hello, my name is Kevin May. I'm a doctoral candidate at George Washington University focusing on entrepreneurship. I'm looking for guinea pigs. I'll be talking to you all soon.
Hi, my name is Malesh, and I'm the founder and creator of Bookman, which is cloud-based process automation of workflow efficiency. So if anybody wants to attend, come in my release leads. So looking for users and investors. So if anybody wants to know more, come see me.
Hello, my name is Jason Berger. I'm the founder of Internet Sports. It's a sports dedicated question and answer service. We're looking for mobile engineers and designers. We're also going to be launching probably next month or so. So if you want to help us test out the program, internetsports.com. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Can you believe throughout this entire night we are only 4 minutes behind schedule? In celebration, we're right now at 9th Mass. If we head down to 7th H, there's a nice little place called Rocket Bar where everyone's invited. We usually have a great attendance every time. So please, let's go ahead and move over there.